So we were at this fucking it was like a film convention type thing, and there was a person up on the stage speaking, probably like a couple hundred people in the thing. And it was one of those, Jason, it's me here, Jason's sitting here, and he got one of those like where it's like a regular video and then it cuts to porn.
Yeah.
And so he's like, gets it, and then all of a sudden it's like, and Jason just gets up and walks out. And I'm just like, who was that guy watching porn, eh? Wow.
You gotta abort the mission at that point, bro. Oh my God.
He just texted me, he's like, I'll just see you tonight.
Hey, for real. What up, though? Hey, welcome to it. And this is the Welcome to It podcast.
Are we going?
Yeah, we going. Aren't we, Chase? Yeah, we going.
Hey,
Come on, Pate. Where you
Yeah,
at? You gotta cut that porn stuff out.
I was like, are you leading with the porn story?
What? This is the Welcome to It podcast. And hopefully we scrap all the first part of this.
No, let's keep it in.
Things are off the rails.
Oh, my God,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I'm your boy, Lano, man. I'm here with my good brother, Pate. Pate, how you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, bro.
Great.
Yeah.
Today we have a very special guest.
Woo!
My good brother, Stevie Buggz, also known as Illy Buggz,
Thank you
also
for having
known
me.
as the GOAT.
Appreciate you,
Come
man.
on, man.
Glad to be on the X-rated version of the Welcome to
Yeah.
It podcast.
This got to be the after hours.
Yeah.
Y'all really have to figure out a way not to drop that first part. You're going to have to edit that.
Oh, man.
My mom called me about one of these episodes. She was like, I was really enjoying what y'all was talking about. And then you said something about, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
I said,
That's your favorite catchphrase.
I said, come on, Mom. I'm like, everybody know about chapter 36.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, Mom. But man, welcome to it, man. This is a Welcome to It podcast where we talk about all the things on the journey, right? And me and Pate have chosen to sit down with people that have inspired us or inspire us from whether it be close within circle or from a distance, man. And you one of those people that was on both of our lists, I think. And we just really want just to have you here, man, to just kind of share some of the Buggz experience on your journey, man.
Thanks for having me, man. It feels different to be on this side of the interview. Usually I'm the one asking questions lately.
Yeah.
And so appreciate y'all having me. Y'all know y'all inspire me too.
Thank you, man.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, no.
Buggz, I just want to get right into it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to know I know one of the craziest jobs that you've had, right? I know a lot of people know you for being an engineer and all these things, right?
Yep.
And putting on productions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But can you just share with the people something that they might not know about you as far as like careers that you've been down or experimented with, right?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of X-rated.
So in between being a rapper and being a rapper, I spent a little bit of time being a pilot.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah, man.
Looking crazy.
I got my pilot's license at 18 years old. I flew till I was about 21 is when I hung it up. Basically just because life was lifing and, you know, had a couple kids by that point. You know, I was still going to school for aviation. I had my pilot's license. I was flying a lot, but I was still also in college to get that like commercial certificate.
Yeah.
And had a big falling out with one of my professors. I was the president of the aviation flight club.
Okay.
So I was like,
as a student.
Yeah. So I was like running the department's the wrong word, but I was running the operations for like the program for, and we would go compete with Air Force. We compete with some of the other colleges nationwide that have big flight programs. And one of my instructors in there was mad that I wasn't. I don't have a background in aviation, so I was learning as I was going. I was good at flying, but I didn't have the like aviation knowledge.
Did he know that you were once a rapper too before you became a pilot?
No, I tried to hide that.
I was about to say because he really didn't like that.
Yeah.
Just throwing out of stuff.
Yeah.
I tried to hide that. I mean, some people knew, it got into me not being able to compete in one of the events we are supposed to compete in, and they were mad that I didn't even give it a try. And I was young with an ego, 21 years old, and wanted to do things my way, and I ended up just kind of walking out. They disciplined me for walking out, and that led to me quitting the team. And then from that point, I really stopped doing the aviation thing.
Yeah.
Yes, got back to rapping.
That's wild.
That is wild. You think you'll ever do it again?
So I would say
how long does the license last for? I guess
the license actually lasts for forever.
Oh shit.
I would just have to go and renew, get back in the air, get used to it, and then go like up with a instructor to sign off of it and verify it so I'm safe to fly again. But the license actually is good for forever. I always say that once the money starts flowing in, that'll be like my hobby.
Oh yeah,
airplanes. Yeah.
When I found that out about you, man, I was like, damn, I thought I was here because I wanted you to be my engineer and go on this musical journey.
Right.
But then it started to be like, he can fly. So I was like, I'm doomsday prepping.
Yeah.
Got a pilot.
Yeah.
Now I just need a farmer. Huh?
Absolutely, man.
It just be interesting, man. Like the other parts of people, like I think that's something so interesting about you, right? Because you are so talented at what you do.
Right.
But it was like when you was like a pilot, it was like, bro, there's no way.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it still plays a big part in my daily life, just my mindset of how I go about things, being really methodical, going over my checklist, just making sure everything's done. The way I drive like a pilot. Like it's still in me every single day of my life.
What does driving like a pilot mean?
You're not gonna catch me like having road rage. You're not gonna catch me speeding. I'm not a NASCAR driver. I'm just very like, we're gonna get there safely. And you're laughing. This brings up another story because me and Leno drive completely differently.
And you guys is this a road trip story?
It is.
Drop it.
Okay, I'll tell it.
And then I'll tell the other part. So go ahead, because you're our guest. Please share.
So we drive down to Austin in April of last year, and me and Leno go half on a Sprinter. And he takes the first leg, leaving Colorado. We leave at midnight in Denver. So we're like, we want to drive overnight, get there in the afternoon the next day. And Leno takes the first leg. So I'm up for the first couple hours, just going all right. But I start falling asleep. I think I wake up about 3:30 in the morning, and Leno's going 105 in a construction zone. Swear.
Yeah.
Swear.
Tell your story, man. I'm not here to argue with you.
Yeah.
There's nothing to argue.
I'm just here to give perspective.
These are the facts. And as you can imagine, it was like that for about the first 6 hours on the road. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of accurate. I think the part that's missing out is like, I didn't take the first leg. I took the first 2 legs because I was driving so efficiently. Everybody woke up. Everybody woke up from their McDonald's coma.
Yeah.
And we was in Texas. And the sun was up. And we were safe. Now, granted, he did wake up at a part of the trip that it was kind of like,
the Sprinter's going like this.
Yeah.
What better time to do when everybody's sleeping, though? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What better time to take
just
a risk?
Test it out. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't drive like a pilot. Drive like
I'm very much a safety first guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, let's get to our destination. There's no rush. We're going to get there when we get there. And I just want to make sure we're all in one piece.
But this is the same dude who also did a U-turn with a Sprinter van in downtown Austin.
Had to get there.
I'm like, bro, this is not a bicycle. You can't just spin around with this 16-passenger van in the middle of what? Just was on a bridge and the people was going to go watch the bats or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was
we
crazy.
didn't even get honked at.
We didn't.
I knew where we were at.
Yeah, it's a very.
We were in a good little spot for that.
Yeah, right.
Good little spot. And I also parked because we're in a big ass Sprinter. We were not finding parking downtown. No. So at that point, we just go in the parking lot. I just pull over to the side of the little edge, hit the hazards. We hop out. We go look at the bats.
Speaking of parking, I'm gonna get off of this. You driving like a pilot stuff. He also tried to park this Sprinter van in the front of the parking lot at a grocery store. Now, why would you park this tour bus in the front? I'm like, Buggz, just go to the back of the parking lot, man. What are we doing?
VIP, baby.
Yeah. Close up the little handicap thing.
Yeah. You know when we travel, we hopping out like y'all should know who we are.
Yeah. I've been on me and this dude have been on some excursions. I think that's what's so dope about you, man, to me from my perspective of getting to know you, right? For these last decade and a half or two, right? Of just like very spontaneous, but calculated. And I'm such a hell yeah, I'm with it. I'm with the shits kind of guy. So when you got people around you who like to make plans, right? Like, it's no different than you, right? You got an idea. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go chop down a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I ain't never did that before.
Yeah.
But like, that's what Buggz has been in my life this whole time as far as inspiration goes, of just like, bro, you're just so like,
let's make it happen.
I walk into the studio.
If it's a good idea, it's a good idea. Let's make it happen.
It don't even matter if it's a good idea. It's his idea type of thing.
I have never had a bad idea.
Yo. I don't know.
I can test that. I mean, I walk into the studio. Shout out Bright Future Media.
Yeah.
I walk into the studio like 3 years ago, and this dude's sitting at the desk. We working on the album, right? He's sitting at the desk, zoomed in on Google Maps, and I'm like, Buggz, what you looking at? He spins around in his chest, in his chair. He's like, bro, I got a plan. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, we're going to go see Kanye West.
Yeah.
We're going to go find Kanye West.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm looking at this map. I'm like, you know what? This dude is a pilot, right?
Yeah.
He's got this map. He didn't blocked off in this map to where he's like, Kanye's got to be between this rock and this rock.
Yeah.
But it's somewhere within this.
I was using lakes, but yeah.
Okay, lakes. My bad. Right, lakes. So he finds the property, bro. Next thing I know, we driving to fucking Wyoming to go find Kanye West.
And we found him.
And we
found his house.
We found the house. But it was crazy, man. What an adventure. Like, we would end up taking me all the way to Yellowstone. Never had been in this place before in my life, right? Live in this little small town, meet some new people.
Yeah.
And then we try to find Kanye West. And then we came back to Denver and finished working on the album. But it's just stuff like that, man. It was like, I find you very interesting. And it also inspires me because I'm just like, I'm not waking up like that. I'm waking up like, what did I write down? What do I got to do today?
Yeah.
Right.
And,
I like going on missions, man.
Yeah, mission, man.
Be having plans and shit.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do them with people.
Sure.
Accomplish those missions.
To do them with people.
Yeah, on the Kanye one, I knew, it was all over the news. He's in Cody, Wyoming. I'm like, that's just one state north of us. We got to go try. And so I look up Cody. Now Cody's actually it's the northern part of Wyoming. So we ended up driving like 8 hours, I think.
That's right.
Didn't know that getting into it. But I'm just like, hey, he's a state away. We got to go try to find this guy. So I find a TMZ article about this land that he had purchased, and it just so happened to have like a bird's eye view of this property. Now, the thing about bodies of water is like, they're all unique. It's like a fingerprint. You're not going to find two lakes that look the same. So I'm like, okay, I know this small town called Cody. How many lakes can there be in Cody? So then I start looking on Google Maps for this lake that I found on TMZ. Lo and behold, I find the lake that's on his property.
Yeah.
I knew exactly where we needed to go and how to get there.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So then when you get there, what happens?
Okay, so we're up there like 3 days total, including our driving days. So we get up there, we drive past the property, we confirm, we get our eyes on it, we confirm it's Kanye's property.
Secret agent.
Yeah.
Recon.
So he's got these like structures that he's trying to build that are like going to revolutionize houses. They're kind of like huts, I would say. So these are kind of on his property. You can see the demos of them. Then we go to our Airbnb, get checked in, get settled in. And then we're like, okay, well, let's go drive by the factory that he's.
Oh, yeah.
So I start Googling, because the whole thing was he was putting this Yeezy factory in Cody. So I start Googling this Yeezy factory, looking for an address. And I think I find an address and put it in my Google Maps. And lo and behold, we can see it from the Airbnb.
Yeah.
So like we're over there. It's like there's one factory in Cody, and it's the fucking Yeezy factory. So then we drive over there. We go through the fucking gates. We found an open gate. Just start driving around the fucking parking. They're still doing construction on it.
He's driving, mind you.
I'm driving.
I'm letting him do that.
Yeah.
So very little going on at the factory, but we drove around that. That's day one. Day two, we go to Yellowstone because that's our only full day. So we put the Kanye thing. We have like established what we're gonna do and where everything is at. We've gotten acquainted with the town. Now let's go have a little fun since we made this trip. So then we drive an hour up to Yellowstone, spend a day in Yellowstone. That's a beautiful place.
Very beautiful.
One of the prettiest things.
And scary.
Yeah, Lado hated it.
Because, you're walking on a volcano, man.
Yeah.
This shit is like a geyser, and it's...
that thing is going to end humanity.
Yeah, and it's like bubbling. It's like, blah, blah, blah. They're like, yeah, that's dragon's layer breath over there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are y'all naming that? That shit looks like evacuate. It's just like, blah, blah, blah.
and
what's
it
bubbling?
smells
Lava?
Like, what is that?
Well, it's water,
but it's like sulfur.
That's bubbling because there's lava underneath it.
Oh shit!
So it's very hot water.
It's very unstable
It's
land.
not like
very unstable.
You wouldn't go there for like a soak.
No, you can't.
No, you can't
even
get
touch
it.
You'd probably
water.
burn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
do
sure
it.
people die up there.
Yeah.
They also have these
Yeah.
geysers that explode from the ground. So they have these like pools that are just beautiful crystal blue water that are really hot. But then they have geysers that are like holes in the ground that they just spew up
Like the
water.
Buggz, yeah.
Old Faithful was the one we was trying to see, right? Is that
that's the famous one.
Yeah.
Okay,
That goes
yeah,
like
yeah.
90 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Type shit.
We get stuck up there, damn near.
Damn near got close to getting stuck up there because we happen to be there a week before Yellowstone closes for the winter season, and a snowstorm is rolling in. So we're
shit.
like beating the snowstorm on
Yeah.
our way out.
Playing Fortnite
Yeah,
in
yeah.
real life with
Yeah.
Buggz.
But that place, I've never been somewhere that reminded me of Narnia so much. Like it's
Yeah.
just majestic.
Without a doubt.
Magical.
Bigfoot is a thing. And he lives
yeah,
there.
yeah, facts.
I believe
it's-
that.
The wildlife up there is crazy. There's no bitch animals up there. Can I cuss on you?
Yeah.
Can I cuss?
Too late.
Yeah.
No bitch animals.
I guess, yeah, okay.
No, it's cool.
The way we started, anything goes at this point.
yeah.
But like even the birds are like this big.
Bro,
Yeah.
like the crows.
Huge.
Like Jurassic.
Yeah, Jurassic crows is exactly what they are. There's buffalo, there's wolves, there's bears. You're not going to see a fucking squirrel or a
There's
chipmunk.
elk.
Yeah.
There's elk in like there's certain parts of Yellowstone that they like closed down. There used to be like strip malls or whatever, like shopping centers, but they let them go, right? And so now these elk are just like, they just congregating in this area, and this look like thousands of elk, bro. We just riding through them. I'm like, oh, this is like some zombie apocalypse.
Even
Wow.
buffalo. Like the buffalo walked right up on the whip.
What?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Were you scared that I was gonna fuck your shit up?
Nah.
They look docile. If you're not fucking with it, it's not gonna fuck with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna defend itself for sure. But man, those things are
So we
alive,
racing down the
bro.
mountain trying to get out this motherfucker. Really.
So that was day 2.
That
That was
tight
a
as fuck,
great
though.
experience. And then day 3, we're heading back to Denver. We're gonna go hit Kanye's spot on the way to Denver and see what happens. So we pull up to Kanye's crib, and it's like, where do you go? So I'm like, I don't want them to think we're like fucking suicide terrorists. So I'm like, I parked the whip on the side of the road, and I just start walking up to the house.
Yeah.
By itself,
Solo dolo.
Hey, so we all in the
doorbell.
car. We commentating. It's me, Wick Jones, Maria, and her friend Danny.
Yeah.
And so we all in the car like, damn, Buggz, you really about to do it? He's like, yeah, man, I'm walking up there.
Yeah.
So he gets
Yeah,
out
he came here.
the car just like he said he did, bro. And he walks about like 20 feet.
Just start walking. Probably more than that. Probably made about 40 feet.
Yeah.
And I start seeing the security truck.
Yeah.
So speeding up to him. We like, oh shit, he's about to get killed, man.
Yeah.
Damn. And then next thing we know, Buggz is talking to this dude from our perspective, right? We can't hear nothing, but he's talking to him, and then they kind of like smile and laugh, and we like, shit, bro, we about to go see Yeezy. Buggz then put his head in the window. They like chopping
we
it up.
exchanging
I'm
information.
like, damn.
Yeah.
I got him talking about his past and like, you know what I'm saying, he came from the military, and like I asked him how he got into doing security for Kanye and how to, what Kanye is like, how he would, if he likes people walking up on his crib or not.
Everyone likes that.
I'm like, hey man, check out my mixtape.
I replay that conversation a lot because we really did have a good conversation. I feel like I didn't push hard enough. I could have probably stalled out even more and like got them to, I regret not being like, I got my friends in the car. Can they just come over here and meet you and like, look at what I'm looking at? Because I had a good view of the whole property at that point. And there was just more I could have done to like push the issue. But unfortunately, Kanye was in like
Just
Puerto Rico. We were
just
also
missed him.
stalking his Instagram to see where he was at the time. We knew he wasn't in Wyoming at that time, but he actually gave us leeway for if we were going to stay a couple more days. Like there might have been more to do, but we were, like I said, we'd only had the Airbnb for 2 nights. We weren't going to stay any longer, and we had an hour out. So that was, it was a good experience. I would consider it practice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it was dope, man. What it showed me about journey and adventure and taking risks is like you don't know what's gonna come out of it. Really, like we went there. High level was to go get the golden ticket, and Kanye be like, "Yep,
Come on in for brunch.
This is pre-Nazi Kanye.
Yeah, this pre-Nazi Kanye,
Yeah,
right?
sure,
This is
yeah.
before we were still kind of on the fence about Ye, right? And
Still had the Yeezys.
But within that time frame, the bonding we got to do as a team and as a brotherhood and sisterhood and all that stuff, and then that's when me and Chris Jones actually wrote one of my hit songs, Gave It All.
Sick.
In Wyoming, because Chris came up with that beat and we kind of came up with the tune, and then we came back here, and it really bust the doors down for my project to come out.
Yeah.
Right. And so I will never forget that, because it was such a huge like move in the shift of like my journey. You know what I'm saying? Of just like, hell yeah, tagging along on some whimsical shit. Like, yeah, whatever, bro. You think it's dope? I think it's dope too. Let's go, right?
Totally.
And so it's just something about keeping my tool belt now. Just like, hey man, take the risk.
Totally.
You know, if it aligns with what you're trying to do and it seems scary enough, then go for it.
Totally. Well, I was just gonna say, and like, also you, as an artist and creator, like you got to go live life to have inputs so that you can have outputs. You know what I mean? So it's like, even if it's like, hey, we just had this wild adventure, you have all this cool life.
That's right. So you can take from
just
moments.
Stepping out of your box will inspire you, and I mean, being around great people will inspire you creatively and just in life through life. I mean, I would say even doing that took away a lot of like any sort of fear I have for going and meeting new people. Because then I use those same skills down in Austin. I was walking up on random people's property in Austin, asking them about the town.
Yeah, this dude's like a blueprint. Like I've been watching your blueprint work time and time again, bro. Yeah. And like again, this is a space where we just like we brought people on that inspired us. And I'm telling you, man, like from my seat, from being your homie, business partner, all that stuff, it's just like your blueprint is like risk taking. Like you was in Austin really knocking on doors like, can we use your property to perform our solar eclipse thing?
And let's just rely on being good people and being nice, being polite. You know what I'm saying? Like
totally.
We're gonna fall back on that if you know, not maybe we'll run into somebody who gets pissed off one day. Yeah. But so far we've been able to just have good conversations and meet people all across different states.
It's crazy. Yeah. Riding around in Texas, knocking on doors.
We're not gonna stop now, man.
This is scary.
Yeah. And we sprinter with a van full of artists.
Minorities. Yeah, Buggz. Yeah, we're brothers, but they don't see it. They can't see where we connect the dots of relationship.
Hey, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the show American Pickers, but that was an inspiration for me. That's why I like was willing to start doing shit like that anyway, because these motherfuckers go around the country knocking on people's doors trying to buy shit. I'm like, shit, if they can do it, I can go talk to these motherfuckers.
Totally, yeah. 100%.
You can do anything. Yeah. I think. Go ahead, Pate.
How do you open with talking to strangers?
How's it going? How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm Stevie. You know what I'm saying? Just introduce myself.
Yeah.
Then tell them what I'm looking. We're out of town from Colorado. We're shooting a project down here in conjunction with the solar eclipse, and we just looking for a place to shoot, getting to know the town. Just wanted to talk to some of the locals and get to know the place a little better. And then they introduce themselves, get to talking a little bit. Ask them what they do. How long they've been here. People get to talking, man.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. I think it's because ultimately, it's because we're in the people business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything we do is about somebody else either enjoying it or finding it interesting to share it to somebody they may think it's cool or needs that resource. And it really becomes a relationship, man. And that's been one of the other biggest things of just this journey, right? Like, that's how I met you through Buggz.
100%.
Right? Like, me and him sitting down working on my album, got the song. He's like, I think Pate would be a good person for you to meet. You probably love this too, right? Yeah. And then from there, I'm just like, boom, like we have a whole relationship too, and are still doing things and still creating from that one opportunity to be able to meet and just taking them risks.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, don't oppress positive energy, meet positive energy.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
What you got, huh? Peanut butter and jelly, baby.
Yeah, truly.
Uncrustable.
Yeah, for real. Yes, I'll never forget that call. That was a great day.
It was.
Yeah.
It started something, man.
It started something amazing for me, man. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
So I just really believe it's about relationships. So I think people on their journey need to know that, because I think so many times you get that cutthroat talk. People are like, oh, things is cutthroat, this, that, and it's like, yeah, it is. I'm not going to say that any business that you get into, but especially what we do, it can be very cutthroat. But if you are intentional about how you showing up, you're going to meet you're gonna find that in other people. And I know for a fact that I found that in not just y'all, but other people who are part of what I got going on. 100%. And it becomes the blueprint. It's like the way you do one thing, I'm gonna do everything like that. If that worked, I'm gonna do that again. So no different than going to Wyoming and talking to Kanye's security guard versus going to Austin and knocking on doors. Totally. Like, if it works, it works.
I went and found Kanye's shit in Calabasas too.
Yeah,
he was ready to go. That was our next. That was supposed to be part 2.
He didn't go with me to LA, but I went out to LA on some other stuff, and I was like, well, I'm out here. I done found Kanye once. Let me go try to find Kanye's home base in Calabasas. Did some internet exploring, found it. That discovery was even crazier to the point where I'm not even gonna go over the story right now because there was no lakes to find.
Yeah.
And I ended up, to sum it up, I found an address, went to that address, not too much sign of Yeezy. So I started watching TMZ videos, clips of him like outside of Yeezy in Calabasas. So then I found okay, the building I was at, he definitely has been there before. But then I found a more recent TMZ clip of Kanye leaving his building during COVID, breaking COVID laws. And I was like, okay, this is where he's really located at in Calabasas. Drove 2 blocks and happened to run into the building.
No shit.
So then I found where he was actively working out of, drove around in the parking lot, seen all these expensive cars, matte black, found security sitting over in a corner.
He's like, it's you again.
Yeah.
Found different security guard, but I didn't talk to him. Smoked a blunt in the parking lot. It was like, I've done this before, and then left.
Yeah.
But my detective skills was even crazier for that one. That one blows my mind because that one took some fucking
pilot, a detective, come on, man, an engineer, the streamer now. Shout out Saving Aliens.
I don't like wasting days, man.
At all.
I love it.
Yeah. So, Buggz, question for you then. How important do you think perseverance and endurance has played a part in your journey?
I don't think of it as perseverance and endurance. I guess I probably have a lot of it, but but I just kind of view it as making the most of every situation, making the most of waking up and having life, trying to get to the end goal of just making an impact on this world, changing the world for the better. I think day to day, that's probably where my head is at, is what steps do I need to take today to get where I want to by the end of this story?
How does streaming and running a studio go into your big picture goal?
Well, I believe heavily in the power of art and artists. And so on a day-to-day basis, I get to help artists make their art at a very high level.
Some would say the highest out here.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. I want artists to be able to create at the level it's supposed. I want their art to come out at the level they envision it in their head when they're making it. And so, I'm trying to help artists do that, making a living along the way, using that money to reinvest and grow the business, creating more tools, and it just kind of feeds itself, so we can keep growing.
That's sick. And then streaming on top of that, because
I think the streaming adventure is new, and I feel like it's the way we reach the youth. I believe heavily in messaging and putting out the right ideas. And it's hard to reach kids. Sometimes they don't want to listen to people in their 30s. You know what I'm saying? We were all that age.
No, sure. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, when it came to the streaming, it was like, first of all, I love video games. I'm a dad. My kids keep me in tune with what the kind of teenage mindset is. And for me, it was just like, I want to create this platform where people can express themselves and we can do it in push the right message. And also do it in a way that's entertaining for the next generation.
That's sick.
Oh, yeah.
Can you break it down for me? Because I don't fully get or understand the world of streaming.
Yeah.
So how does it work, or how do you get your messaging across? Because I know Kai-san. That's
Kai is just so brilliant at it, and he is younger, so he it's so natural for him to be able to do that. I mean, basically, you have a platform like Kick or Twitch or YouTube, where people can get on there, live stream whatever's happening in that moment, whether it's video games. Some people just talk. Sometimes it's, a combination of both. And, people tune in because there's just kids that are looking for community, that will come and they'll hit different channels, look at different people. It's really a good way of like just seeing what's out there in the world. The cool thing that I like, that incorporates something from when we were our age and kids, and we used to be in chat rooms, Yahoo chat. I used to play pool on Yahoo.
100%.
I don't know if you guys
and
then you get in the chat room.
Yeah.
And so this is like kind of the modern day version of what we had when we were kids. And these kids get in these rooms where there's they're watching somebody play video games, but the major aspect is the chat. And so all these kids are talking to each other while this streamer is playing.
And so do you engage in the chat as well?
Absolutely. So, at my stage, we're still a small streamer, still growing the channel. I'm reading every single post that's in the chat. I'm usually reading it out loud on stream. That way, whoever's writing it, they know they're engaged with, on camera. Everybody likes hearing their own name or seeing their name on the screen. And so, absolutely, I'm reading every comment and then replying to it myself. Now, at Kai's level, it's too many comments. So a lot of people are just commenting and he's ignoring it. And he'll pick one out of 100 and might read that out loud, reply to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's dope. So it's building a community that can feed all kinds of different things that you are working on. Whatever.
Absolutely. Right. And then we can go in and we can play a Leno music video or we can comment on, the Super Bowl halftime show, those kind of things that are current events and like get people's opinions, let people express themselves. But again, like the deeper meaning is we're pushing a narrative of positivity.
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Do you, how does like online community translate to real life community? Is there value in that, in the use?
Online community translating to real life community. I don't know because I'm so new to this streaming thing. I'm excited. I'm going to TwitchCon in San Diego in October. And that'll be my first time like stepping out into that world more of like internet meets reality.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a good way to grow. I think obviously when people meet you in real life, they're more inclined to want to tune into what you're doing digitally. But also I think in today's world where we're moving into this VR, AR, like there's less and less reality going on. So it's kind of like I want to put my footprint into this digital world earlier because we're all going to be forced to do it later.
For sure.
Forced.
Yeah, that was an interesting word choice.
Yeah.
You're not overly juiced on the virtual reality world?
Well, adapting, I would say.
Sure.
Juiced on it, I don't know. I think I love like the purity of just living life. I mean, I think it would be pretty interesting to live in a world that didn't have electricity. You know what I'm saying? And just go back to what things were. And I mean, that would feel naked for a lot of us. And we're all addicted to our phones. I think, a lot of us would go crazy without electricity.
Without a doubt.
But I think that was probably a better time to be alive.
I don't know, bro. Fridges are chill.
I don't know about that. But I'm just like, you could have stopped that electricity. You didn't have to give me a freaking robot that can beat me.
Or let alone live in an entirely different universe that's digital.
Yeah, it's like, where's the cap at? It makes me feel like my HOA. Like
he comes back.
There's no fucking cap. And I hate y'all. All right, I'm sorry. Back to you, Buggz.
Yeah.
I think we're almost destined to become cyborgs. I think.
Oh God!
I think humans will one day no longer exist. Everybody born will have a fucking Neuralink. Everybody that breaks a leg will start having bionic legs. We'll all be able to run, 100 miles per hour. We'll all have fucking cannons in our arms. Like I think we're just destined to become. Humanity is going to be dead. We're going to evolve into some sort of cyborg system.
These type of conversations make me jealous of my dad when when I catch
a better time.
You know what I'm saying? He's 76, right? He knows that he's on the other half of life.
Yeah.
I walk outside one day, this dude smoking a joint, just staring off into the sky, right? I said, Pops, what's up, man? He's like, man, you know, son, I'm just thinking. He was like, there's a lot of shit going on in the world, man. It's crazy, man.
Right.
Man. He said, but the great thing is, I ain't gonna have to be here for most of this.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He said, but I'm praying for you and my grandkids though, man. But I'm just thankful I ain't gonna have to be here for a lot of this shit. I'm like, damn, Pops, I'm kind of jealous. Take me with you.
Because it's a crazy world.
That we headed to, it feels like, right?
And I don't know if there's a middle ground where you can have electricity, but not have people try to use that electricity to turn us into cyborgs.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if that exists.
Yeah,
and honestly, I think it would be super cool if we were all just sitting around a campfire sharing these stories instead of like
on the microphone,
on a microphone
and all that.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, it's beautiful too, but I'm adapting to it. And
for sure.
Right.
I am trying to learn it. I'm trying to master it. I'm involved with it because there's no getting around it.
Yeah.
We can't change the way things are.
That's why I got to stay close to you guys.
Because
I'll be fucked.
Yeah. Oh, for real, man.
Jeez. No, that's a great way of putting it, because we've had this conversation before about like why we started this, and we because we just like really love learning and being around people that we admire, but in a world that we live in now, it's like, oh, we gotta do it in this capacity for these reasons or whatever. So
without a doubt,
it's finding that beauty in. That way, you don't become a curmudgeon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Please,
it's so much better to just live in the world than trying to like work against it.
Yeah, totally. There's no win in that war. I feel like.
Yeah,
totally.
You know what I mean? It almost comes down to this place like, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
But you got to know how far you're willing to go for your own personal life.
Absolutely.
How much can I join in, right?
And also like staying true to your morals and the things that you believe in.
Yeah.
Like, you know, adapt, but don't change who you are, and hopefully influence in a way that you're bringing your values and spreading those to other people as well.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think a lot of people are afraid of, is like having like capital T truths in their life and be like, this is what I stand on always.
Right.
But I think, like you say, you gotta have those, or else you can get lost in the sauce.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh yeah, because it'll take you for a ride if you let it. If you go in willing to do anything, guaranteed you will be doing everything.
We're doing everything for nothing.
Ask P. Diddy's boyfriends.
We'll try to cut that part out too. I don't know. That's crazy. But I do believe you do got to stand on something, with technology or not, like just as a person, because if not, man, you'll go places and you'll get the lights, the gleam, the glamour, the new people, new talk, new slang.
Right.
You get caught up, man, and it's like, I think that's really a true identity crisis. Like, that's it. Of just like, and I couldn't imagine. Like, I'd rather people not like me, you know what I'm saying, for me showing up as who I am, and then people love me for showing up as who I am.
Yeah. Totally.
But not because there's something else, like because I'm switching up when I'm getting into different spaces, right? And I think that's another dope thing about you, and you too. I mean, you guys are very straight about your opinion, right? Like, hey, this is what I feel. And it's like, we ain't got to agree, but I'm just saying how I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, same way with me and my music. I'm just like, I'll push my line. I don't care if you agree with me or not. That's not what this is about.
And being open-minded too. You know what I'm saying? I'm super down to listen to other people's ideas and opinions, and I'll allow myself to change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm not set in stone on anything.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Because you start learning.
And that's why I express myself.
Yes.
It's because it's like, if you disagree, if you see flaw in my thinking,
totally,
let me know.
Let's have a conversation.
For
but
sure.
you know, man, so many people, you know, we've come across, we've had issues with these people who don't understand that part of communicating, right?
Right.
Of like, there's two sides to getting an understanding, and that's why we need an understanding, because you come up a certain way and got a certain view on how you see things, and no different than you, right? And so it's like, there's probably gonna be conflict,
right?
But if we can't have a space where it's like, oh, I got some room to wiggle to understand what you're talking about, it's like you'll always be butting heads with people, man. I think so many people are freaking angry in life because it's like, it's all about my way. This is right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go fight everybody who says something different.
Right.
Absolutely.
When it's like, when actuality is like, you don't have to engage with none of that. Right.
And you're putting a ceiling on your own knowledge by taking that approach.
For sure. Yeah, you miss out on a lot of cool shit.
Yep. Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
we probably got to ask our welcome to it question.
Yeah. So we do a welcome to it question, right? And this is, what would you say was that defining moment where you were like, welcome to it, like your passion, your purpose in life, where you are right now? Like, what would you say was something that you can recall that was a moment in time that was like, all right, this is time for me to hit the gas, right? Or I've arrived to continue on, like I'm on the road now to.
I mean, the very first time I felt that was probably the first time I wrote a song that like had purpose, and I felt like I was speaking to an audience, that like I was giving them something. I was giving them a perspective that like they needed. I just think that feeling of like sharing what's like in your inner core and sharing it in a way that's like palpable is an effective way of communication. And I feel like probably the first time I felt that was the first time like had the sense of purpose.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's great,
man. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it that is around the service part of it. I feel like a lot of people who's answered that question as of recently have kind of went to that end of just like what it's actually doing. Like I found my welcome to a moment because I saw that it was doing something for someone else.
Yeah.
And I think that's a diamond.
100%. Yeah. No, I think you can see that in everything that you do, bro.
Appreciate that,
that's
man.
One of the biggest things that, give you flowers because.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like I chase that feeling of purpose and like trying to make an impact even on the individual. Like I think it's probably easier to talk to one person than it is to talk to a mass at one time and change a lot of people's minds. I think it literally takes doing it one by one and just sharing as much as possible on more intimate basis.
Yeah.
There are people that can do it in mass, but it's a lot more difficult, if you're not on a stage of some sort.
Yeah. And everything counts, man. That's something I've been telling myself when I'm doing things, right? Whether I'm working out or whatever, it's like, it all counts.
Right.
Whatever moment in time I get to spend with my kids, that counts. Whatever time I get to spend with my loved ones, it all counts, right? Whatever time I get to spend with myself, like it all.
And it gets passed along.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you've obviously had conversations with me that helped me grow. And I'm able to take those conversations through my growth and pass them on to the next person.
And that's how the game should be, man.
Absolutely.
The servitude end of it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's your game to have, to process, take what you want from it,
Yeah.
and then you give that to Pape.
Straight up.
And Pape takes it to his kids, who takes it to their whole classroom. They're like, oh, yeah, my friend taught me, you know what I mean? So I think everybody should know that whatever you're doing on your journey, if you feel like this is your calling, this is your purpose, no matter how small, no matter how big, like, it matters.
Yeah.
Like, it matters at the end of somebody's day.
Right.
100%.
Speak your mind. Tell your truth.
Yeah, man.
Share your feelings. Like, pass it along.
Yeah.
Yes. And clear your search history.
Yeah.
Clear your search history.
Clear. Hey, delete that shit. Hey, welcome to it, baby.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. Dope.
Super dope.
What up,
Fuck
though?
yeah. Thank you. Good as shit.